What up, though, guys? It's your girl Zsa Zsa, and you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I am going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, I hope that you are having a wonderful, fantastic, amazing Thursday. It is August 1st, and it is officially Leo season, baby. And your girl is a Leo. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, I hope you are having a wonderful day. And as I always say, every time you guys join me, is that it's Thankful Thursdays. We have the activities of our limbs. We're in our right mind. We're in nobody's jail. We're in nobody's hospital, because you all know that they have somewhere for you. They got a hospital, a 6-foot box specifically made just for you. And I hope that you're tuning in and you're having a wonderful day. Listen, it's the great debate. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I have had the most exhilarating weekend thus far. I had some real decisions that I had to make regarding my life. And I'm really, 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 really grateful that I had the opportunity to make those decisions while I had a chance. And some of us, we are lackadaisical and callous when it comes to some of the decisions that we have to make regarding our own lives. Nobody can orchestrate your life like God can, and nobody can dictate your success because success comes from God. And so with that being said, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm your girl, Zsa Zsa. And I got to tell y'all, it is the great debate. So if you're tuning in today, we're talking about the great debate. And if you all have been involved in the political campaign, if you have been kind of watching some of the candidates, if you have been involved in previous elections, if you're grassroots, like a lot of people that are maybe 40 and over, a lot of them are grassroots individuals, meaning they've been a part of the political game, whether it was to help it or hurt it, for a long time. And I can say I've been in the game for grassroots because I've been doing this since I was 14. And I got a birthday coming up in 19 days, and I'll be such and such 4. So with that being said, I can say that I've been doing this for a very long time. So if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the great debate. Now, for many of you, next year is the presidential election, 2020. It's a big year. Everybody talking about it because of the numerics that it symbolizes. It's a big year for a lot of people. They're getting married. They're graduating. You have some things in the making. Business deals are launching. So you're looking forward to the fiscal year of 2020. And a lot of people are also looking at this year up and coming for the next direction of our country. Because as you know, these past 4 years have definitely been treacherous for some, exhilarating for others, entertaining for some, and just quite disappointing for others. And like I tell you all the time, I end up learning about a lot of different things because I have a lot of different alliances and relationships with individuals that are in the political world, outside of me just being a community leader and partaking and participating in things. But there are people that are actually orchestrating how our city, our country, our state is governed. And so we put those people in place. And if you are not privy or have an understanding of some of those candidates that are in place, I really, really implore you to get out there and find out who are some of these people in place. Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain is, if we don't get out and vote, if we don't get out and become more active, if we don't start asking more questions, making more noise, we can't leave it up to a lot of the political leaders that we vote in office. We have to get to a point where we are actually becoming activists and actually speaking up on a lot of things that are happening. One of the things that, I listen for things that everybody's not listening for. I was there at the debates. I was there for the marches. And so one of the things that I look for when it comes to how I operate, how I display information is I look for things everybody else isn't looking for. A lot of people are looking for, who had the most applause and who had this and who had that and who got with who, and all of that is cool, because that's what a debate is about. A debate is a formal argument about a particular subject in a matter where you're displaying your particular thought process or your particular subject matter and your voice on those particular matters. And so that's what we talk about with a debate. You talk about your pros, your cons. You talk about having the particular information for that particular subject so that you can argue your point. So that's what a debate is all about. And so for the last 2 days, all eyes around this country and this world, okay, this world. Let me not even say this country, this world. Because America is predicated and decides how a lot of other countries are governed. And if you don't think that your impact matters, it does. How we do trade business, how we get things done in our country in comparison to other countries. A lot of people's livelihoods in other countries are dependent upon what we do in this one, as vice versa. Our livelihood is predicated upon how we deal with other countries. Go in your house right now and look at everything in there. 9 times out of 10, it did not come from the United States, nor was it made in the United States. It was manufactured in another city, in another country. It was, the ingredients are not from here. The people who made it are not from here. So sit down and really do an inventory. Everything that's in your house, from your living room set to your dining room set to your mirrors to your toilet that you sit on every day, all day, to the sink that you go to take your water from, to the pipes that are made, to the wheels on your car, to everything that we have is not predicated on what we manufacture here in the United States. And it's extremely unfortunate, because if we're not active and participating in what's going on in our country, we're in for a bigger rude awakening. And I'm going to tell you why. Everybody was talking 2020, but I don't know if you all were listening to the year 2052 that they kept talking about on the first debate. The first debate, 2052, they talked about how we're, and excuse my French for the saints that's watching, because I got saints that's watching, but we're damn near gonna have a breakdown in our whole universe, in our whole planet, if we don't take care of it. Now, 2052 seems like a long time from now, but it's actually 30 years from now. Okay? 30 years from now, I'm going to be 66. So what you telling me is that my grandkids, some of your grandkids that haven't even made it yet, your great grandkids or grandkids that are just being born right now, aren't going to have a real substantial future based on how we're dealing with our environment right now. I see so many people throw stuff out the window. I see so many people who go and throw tires and have all these big blights and dump. I see all these industrial companies, these steel companies that are in Southwest Detroit that are pumping out pollution by the seconds. And they are infesting a whole community with their pollution and their toxins, and they know it. And our city community leaders know it. And instead of giving them more tax breaks, we should be fining them with heavier fines, because the fines that they have now, a lot of these industries, a lot of these major companies and multi-billionaires, they have the capital to pay those little fines. If a fine is $2,500, $25,000, we're talking about a billionaire. We're talking about billionaires. They can afford those fines. Instead of slapping them with fines and fees, we need to say, if you don't get this fixed in a matter of these many days, you need to shut down a portion of your plant. You need to shut down, or you need to a portion of your income that you're bringing in and your finances for your company, they need to go to that community. You need to be giving the community a stipend or some type of a stimulus check, because you're infesting their community with your plants and your communities that won't allow us to have a sustainable environment, and that's not safe. Who wants to go outside to play and they can barely breathe, and it ain't their fault? It's because of a company that's across the street or in the neighborhood's fault, and we're not holding them accountable. So I was listening to things that the average person was not listening to. There are a lot of people that were looking for, the arguments and the entertainment, but that's what got us in this position in the first place. We thought Donald Trump was just playing when he said he was running for president. Oh, we thought it was entertaining. Oh, he's not gonna win. Oh, we were lackadaisical. We were callous. We were slothful in our approach with this campaign 4 years ago. We have to be